All right, guys, another YouTube video here. This week is gonna be Leah,
Special guest.
special guest. So we're at Big Sur, and yeah, this is beautiful. So
Soaking up the sunset.
you're my
Like a
first
day.
YouTube female guest.
Oh wow, I feel so special.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, yeah. So tell them, what do you do, and how can you help, I guess, other women that are, looking to get into fitness and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Leah Krzywicki. I am a personal trainer and online fitness coach. I've been training for about 3 years. I started in person and then I gradually decided to go into online, and now I do both. So I like to tell my clients or potential clients that my whole philosophy is coming up with something that you can sustain for a lifetime. Like, I have had so many clients come to me and they're like, hey, I've tried keto, I've tried intermittent fasting, I've tried this, I've tried that. And they just feel like nothing sticks. And I know how frustrating that can be when you feel like you're doing all the things. You're putting in the work. You're like, yeah, I'm going to the gym. You're taking 5 group fitness classes a week. You think you're eating healthy. And sometimes it's just making those like small adjustments or small tweaks and really like looking into someone's day-to-day life, looking into their routines and just starting small. Like, that's really, really what it's all about. If you try to do 100 things at once, of course you're going to fall off. I tell my clients, hey, take a look at what you're eating for the day, right? Let's just focus on that. And then after you've realized what you're eating, maybe let's try to like dial it in a little bit more. Try eating more whole foods, stuff that comes from animals, stuff that comes from the ground. If it's in a package, limit it.
No,
I know.
I'm looking at this view and I'm like, holy cow, this is crazy.
It's beautiful.
So
we live in a beautiful state.
the ocean is one of your favorite places to visit, and can you tell us why?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a firm believer that nature, it's really healing. It gives us a certain type of energy, and whenever I go to the beach, like, that is my reset. That's my happy place. I have come to the beach so many times that I have straight up cried on the beach. I've broken down.
Damn.
And it's just like that release for me. And like, I mean, if you just, if you hear the ocean waves and kind of just like take it in, close your eyes, it's so much a form of meditation. And not only that, like, the ocean, it holds a very, very special place in my heart. My mom growing up, she would always take us to the ocean. Like, even when it was cold, she'd be like, hey, like, get on your big coat. We're going to Half Moon Bay today. Or, we had a childhood dog, and there was a beach in Half Moon Bay called Dog Beach. And we'd go, like, super, super often. And it would just make the whole family happy, right? And so I went through a really traumatic event my senior year of high school. I ended up losing my mother.
Wow.
And it was very, very unexpected. And I think, like, learning how to think about the good times and, like, find something that, like, truly connected me to her in a good way, that was 1,000% the beach. And so, when I said, like, I'd go to the beach and cry, like, sometimes it'd be about her. Like, when you lose a parent, or you lose a parent as a child, like, there's so many things that go, like, spinning around your head, and, like, so many events that you're like, wow, like, I wish my mom was here. But I totally feel like she's here in different ways, like, and going to the beach is that way that I, like, really, really connect within her. And now it's like, again, I try to, like, think about the happy times. And one of her biggest philosophies that she'd always tell me when I was a kid, and it used to annoy the heck out of me, she'd be like, go move your body, it's gonna make you feel better. And when you're a kid and you're a stubborn little kid, you're just like, I don't want to listen to my mom, and as I started, like, growing and going through harder times and going through challenges and tribulations, I noticed every time I moved my body, it would ground me and it would make me feel better and, like, kind of make it seem like everything's gonna be okay in a sense. you know, and maybe it was only for that moment, but that is where I find peace. That is where I find happiness, and that's how I keep my inner peace, is moving my body. That's why I got into the fitness industry, because I realized, like, you know, a lot of people get into fitness for physical health at first, but then they stick with it for mental health.
Wow. Guys, it's crazy. We've been prepping this all day, actually. But I gotta get her on camera. She was like, nah, you know. But we have to, because I think a lot of stories and messages out there, that stories like yours, will definitely change a lot of people's life. And I think, like, you know, we're gonna collab obviously with more people, but I think, like, what you've gone through, you use your pain as a way to help people. So that's, like, very honorable.
Yeah. It's the driving force and your reason why.
Can you tell them a little bit more about that?
About, like, using your pain into a driving force?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, when you are going through pain and you're going through tragedy, like, sometimes, again, like, it's very hard to, like, even feel, even think, even, like, just be.
Yeah.
And I told you, like, that, you know, moving my body and working out was, like, the one time that I actually, like, felt like I was going to be okay. And then, you know, it kind of, like, just slow process of just, like, getting back on my feet and picking myself back up. And, like, you know, again, thinking about all the good times that I did have, and, like, trying to, like, commemorate her and honor her by doing what I'm doing. Like, she was such a person. She was such a badass. Like, she touched everyone's life. She was so outgoing, so giving, so charismatic. And I'm like, if I can be even half of the person that she was, like, I know that I've made it, and I know that I've done it. And I'm telling you, like, the career that I've, like, now chosen, and I've gone, you know, it definitely wasn't a straight and narrow path for me. I'm telling you, I get so much gratitude and satisfaction out of it. Like, it is such a beautiful thing watching someone come to me and just, like, be really frustrated and just maybe not at the greatest point in their life. They start, you know, keeping promises to themselves. They start working on themselves. They come to the gym, they come to me, I guide them, and their whole life gets better. Like, wow. It is so incredible. Like, their relationships get better. They're like, Leah, I have more energy to go play with my kids after work. You know, and I'm telling you, it is one of the most powerful things that you can do. It's very simple, but people try to overcomplicate it, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you helped me with is when I first started my business, her being her, you know, personality, you're going to help me actually close a bunch of deals and introduce me to a bunch of people. How important is it to protect your energy, you know, every single day while you're growing your business, while having a busy life? Because you're very about protecting that energy and and keeping it in a positive way. Can you tell more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I first started, trust me, I was not perfect, and I was given everything and more. You know, I had my friends come to my house and be like, hey, Leah, are you okay? We haven't heard from you. You know, I was working like 18, 20 hours a day, like barely sleeping, barely eating, like feeling like half a human. But I was trying to make that sacrifice in order to build my business. And, you know, like, yes, sometimes balance is not a thing as a business owner, and you probably can relate to this too. You know, but as you grow your business, it forces you to develop yourself personally. Right. Like, you cannot grow a business and be the same person that you started the business as.
You'll be stuck.
You will be 1,000% stuck. So it forces you to be the best version of yourself. And with becoming that version, which, again, I still have a lot of work to do, but, you know, 1% better every day. But with stepping into that higher version of myself, I learned that energy was a very big thing. Now, I am someone, when I do a job, I want to do it very well. And I used to kind of like be a perfectionist and, you know, really care what others thought of me. And part of like protecting that energy is like, you know, doing what's true to yourself. And like, you know, if you feel like very drained after someone talks to you or after a conversation or maybe even like a little comment somebody makes, my biggest piece of advice is to not dwell on it, but also give yourself time to process and like to get away. And for me, that looks like going to the beach, going to a sunset, you know, taking my dog on a hike in a beautiful place. Like, nature really, truly is healing. And if I can get in nature and get a little movement in there too, like, that is absolutely what does it for me. So, you know, it allows me to regroup, like recenter myself, recharge in a way. And I feel like that's something that's maybe not talked about enough.
100%.
You know, and especially like, you know, my clients, I train a lot of moms, and they're like, I feel like I have nothing left to give. I give everything. And I say to that, like, you know, obviously I'm not a mom yet, but like, if you don't fill your cup and you don't recharge yourself, you're going to collapse at some point. You know, you're going to collapse in your relationship, maybe with your husband, with your children, maybe your career or whatever it is. Like, you have to give yourself that time. Otherwise, you'll be forced to. And maybe that looks like you're in a hospital bed.
Okay.
You know, like, I hate to go that way, but like, for some people, it takes some, like, to get to that point, for things to get so bad, to start like taking charge of their health. And I tell people, I'm like, you only have one body, you only have one life. Why not make it excellent and as good as it can be?
Wow. I mean, you definitely outperformed yourself today. She was nervous before we start this.
I was very nervous.
Yeah. But look how beautiful this place is.
It is so pretty.
Look at this.
I'm telling you, nature heals.
Yeah.
Nature is truly, truly powerful. Oh, giving them the views.
Yeah.
Thought you were the views, dude.
Yeah. Do a sales
Oh yeah,
pitch.
now we are giving them the views.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, how can they find you?
Okay, you guys can connect with me via Instagram at LeahKrzwy. And if you have any questions, health and fitness related, or you're just looking for some help on your fitness journey, 100% connect with me. I would love to answer any questions. I would love to help you guys all become the best versions of yourself. And remember, there's never any perfect time to start. You just have to decide to start and go from there.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, thank you so much. And we got more coming for you.
Bye, guys.